Order! Order! I am satisfied that the defense has assassinated its claim beyond all reasonable doubts. Ooh, this witness's testimony was entirely fallacious. You're done now, mate. You're done. That's not the only thing we can now know beyond all reasonable doubt. My learned friend's assistant's guilt can no longer be denied. The woman tampered with a crime scene. But more importantly, good lord, there's more, Lord Van Zix. The defense may have established a reprehensible instance of perjury. But there is no proof that this man is the victim's killer. Yes, that's right. What? I was there at the scene. It's true. And I was shot in the arm. It's true. But that's all. Yes, in fact, if you look at the circumstances, I am the victim here. Oh, please! No! No, mate. You did not die, did you? I did. I don't believe this. But they're right. As it stands now, I don't have any definitive proof that he is the culprit. Still, he can't worm his way out of it now, Iris. You know what they say. There's no point locking the cat's door after the cat has bolted. Ooh. Isn't that right, Runo? You're right about that. As Hurley always says, one lie begets another. No, wait. That might actually have been a line I wrote for him in one of my stories. It's one of your lines. Either way, a great line, nonetheless. Well, no matter who said it first, you're right. Mr. Graydon, not only did you give false testimony to the court, but the lies you told makes no sense. Make no sense? What do you mean by that, by such a remark? What you said in your testimony reveals that you know something you shouldn't have known. In other words, there's a fundamental inconsistency in your statements. What?
Objection!
No, what are you gonna say? This is provocative talk, counsel. I don't know about provocative, I don't know. Won't you enlighten the court? Explain this alleged inconsistency. Iris was right. One lie begets another. The inconsistency is revealed by the lies of the witness's statements. They show that Mr. McGraden had knowledge of something he shouldn't have known anything about, namely. Alright. Now, depending on which one you pick, it's wrong. Well, two of them, I mean. The third gun. Why would he not know the third gun? If he is the culprit, he should know about the third gun. The people. We've been mentioning it a lot in this case, and we also have the proof and evidence. He should know that there's a people. But how the fuck does he know about the bloodstains on the coat? How? The bloodstains that were present at Miss Lestrade's coat. That's right. The victim's blood spattered all over her when she shot him. But how could you possibly have known that? Obviously, because I saw her do it through the people in the... Oh. How? If the people didn't exist. The point is not that you lied in your testimony, Mr. Graydon. It's the nature of the lie you concocted that is so revealing. You're not making any sense. Then let me ask you a simple question. How is it that Mr. Graydon, that you knew the existence of the people in the storeroom door? What? Well, obviously Actually, you don't. You don't know. Yeah. I was like, what? Got your tongue, witness. I think the judge is now wanting to make sure we get the guy. The people in the door was made after the incident occurred. And once I returned to the shop, having failed to catch the two burglars, Scotland Yard's investigators arrived immediately. Since that time, the police have been at Windy Banks constantly carrying out their investigation. Isn't that right, Inspector Gregson? Well, yes, of course. The place is chock full upon articles, and my lads had to thoroughly examine them all. So I gave the order to have officers working around the clock in shifts so we get through it all.
And consequently, there's no way that you, Mr. Graydon, could have gained access to the shop. Ooh, come on. Therefore, you should have known nothing about the people in the storeroom door. So the fact that its existence forms the basis of your testimony is completely inexplicable. I can't say that. Inexplicable. There you go.
And yet, the fact remains that Mr. Graydon didn't maintain that he witnessed the crime take place through the people in the door. How on earth is that possible? Could I have a word, please, Lord Von Zeeks? Speak, Inspector. It's just that I really ought to be getting back to the station now to put in my report. There's really nothing more I can add to the testimony, so it's all the same to you. Permission denied. Oh, shit. It's not all the same to me, Inspector. Not at all. You will remain exactly where you are until this trial concludes.
Why do you want to leave, Inspector?
Of course, sir.
Mr. Graydon. Oh, you shouldn't have known about the existence of that people. Can we just stop saying people, honestly? But whatever. Which can only mean that you must have been informed about it by somebody else.
Objection!
What?
Stop there, my learned friend. You realize I trust that the words you just uttered have extremely serious implications.
Yes, but the defense believes the details about the case that Mr. Graydon claims to have seen must have been revealed to him by a certain person before his testimony. And in fact, considering a particular clue we have, there's really only one person that could be.
Who's the person in question, Consul? Who gave this witness details of the crime scene to facilitate his false testimony?
It was Iris! She was the one! No, I'm just kidding. It ain't her Luck Shelmson, obviously. It ain't these two. It ain't himself. LaShawna? Maybe. No, I'm just kidding. These three, hell no. Who else?
Take that!
He's standing next to him. The truth is, it can only have been you, Inspector Gregson.
Huh? Me?
Objection!
You had better have some proof to substantiate such a rash claim, my learned friend.
Consider the fact that we have only been aware of Mr. Ashley Graydon's identity for the last few hours. We learned of it during the course of this trial today.
Indeed, preparations for this testimony were made with great urgency during our hour-long recess, while the police executed a subpoena and brought to demand here from the communication station.
And until that time, Mr. Graydon would have had no idea. No inkling that we would suddenly be required to appear. He would suddenly be required to appear in the court.
Are you suggesting that until such a time as he was summoned?
Yes, my lord. Until then, it's reasonable to assume he knew nothing of the people. It was only once Mr. Graydon was in the stand that he realized his position. That he would have to defend himself against the accusations that he was the third intruder.
You're suggesting to the court that it was while this trial was in progress that he received the information so that he could commit perjury in order to save his skin.
Exactly. Exactly. And my phone is ringing right now, but it's a potential spam, so I'm not gonna answer. Exactly. And the only person with knowledge of the investigation that he had any contact with. It's you, Inspector Gregson.
This is a bloomin' outrage. Why would you be giving away details of our investigations to this fella, eh? I was summoned to his lordship's chambers during the recess in any case. Have you forgotten that? What? I had a number of questions regarding the events that transpired at the pawnbrokery. Which means... the first time these two laid eyes on one another was after the proceedings resumed, following the recess. Since then, they've been on full view in a stand, where such illicit discussions couldn't possibly have occurred.
Oh, I just remembered something, Reno. What is it, Iris? There was one time before, wasn't there? I think it was when Gina was testifying. Oh yes, now that you mention it. When the bailiff was dispatched to retrieve Mr. McGildy's music box from the scene of the crime. That's it! It was during the testimony. They were just in the side talking. I remember finding it strange at the time. Mr. Graydon and Inspector seemed to be having some kind of secret discussion. It would have been possible for you to give Mr. Graydon the information he needed then.
You did it, Torag. You're making all of this up. I'm Inspector Scully Yard Inspector for crying out loud. Why would I do something like that? Why would I be giving away confidential details to the likes of this bloke?
Admittedly, you wouldn't have any reason to do something like that for no gain. But perhaps it was a part of a deal of some kind. Then it starts to make more sense.
Yeah. What deal, Consul?
I wonder if perhaps in exchange for details about the people of the crime scene, Mr. Graydon agreed to give a certain something to the inspector. Ooh, I think I know what it is. Because he did and not want us to show it off.
I'm sure I need to remind the inspector that if I found the truth to be true, striking a deal of any kind with a witness would be considered a gross case of malfeasance. Malfeasance. Okay. Well,
Objection!
It's becoming clear that jumping in with the accusations is the Lipponese student's specialty.
I don't do that.
But with the stakes so high, the prosecution is not prepared to listen to baseless charges. It is incumbent on the defense now to present evidence in support of this diabolical claim.
Evidence?
Just what are you proposing that the inspector demanded of the witness to in return? The court must see the proof of its alleged deal.
Why would he want to? If Inspector Gregson really did strike a deal with Mr. Graydon, then logically, there's only one thing he could have asked for. That must be it! Exactly. We know for it. We already know it. Runo, do you think it could be... Yes. It's the missing link that would join all the dots together in this puzzle.
I must press you for an answer now, Consul. What evidence explains the nature of the alleged deal Inspector Gregson made with the witness?
Take
This.
that!
Inspector Gregson, besides this murder, is it not true that you've been working on another very important case?
What? What are you getting at now, Sunshine?
Is it possible that this top secret case is what's alluded in this newspaper article here? The classified secrets being leaked overseas from the Ministry of Justice.
How the bleeding Norad could you?
We discovered during the course of this trial the music box deposited at Windy Banks by Manders McGilded. A special music box designed to play 2 discs at once. It would seem very likely now that encoded on the pair of discs that were in Mr. McGilder's possession are the leaked classified secrets. Ooh. So I put it to you, Inspector, that in order to recover the second of the discs containing those secrets, you covertly made a deal with Mr. Graydon in which you exchanged the disc for details of the case.
You did.
We got you. Inspector, I didn't know you were that dirty. Even for a case. For justice. You just got order. Order. Order! On the day of the incident, when we met you at Winnie Banks, you said this.
I'll be taking whatever it is Mr. McGill did down to the yard. Thank you very much. Now, so hand it over.
No, don't. Don't give it to him. It's mine. That is mine. Yeah.
I'm sorry, miss, but anything belonging to McGill has to be taken as evidence now. I can't read before,
But now I can. Scotland Yard already knew at the time. Isn't that right? That Magnus McGilded was involved in stealing of government secrets. Yeah, come on.
My orders were recover the medium used to convey the secrets leaked from the ministry, and do it on a QT, strictly hush-hush. And that explains why, when I presented this disc as evidence to the court, you objected so heavily, I presume. Because you knew that it contained highly confidential information. Blimey, not likely, I mean. I wasn't that sure of it myself. I realized there was a possibility, that's all. Inspector, surely you're not saying that in order to acquire the second of these music box discs, you did indeed reveal confidential details of the crime scene to the witness, to aid and abet this man of giving false testimony.
There's no other way that Mr. Graydon could have known of the existence of the people. It's the only explanation. A deal was struck between these two men.
No! Ah!
They're like, oh!
Objection.
They freaked out together.
If, and I stress if, this sobering assertion turns out to be founded in truth, it would mean that the second disc is, as we speak, here in this very courtroom.
Wait, what?
In this room? Bruh, what? You're the one making an assertion.
You should know. How could you possibly make a claim like that?
Because Inspector Gregson is a Scotland Yard detective.
What?
What's that supposed to mean, eh? As a seasoned policeman, the inspector will have approached this deal with caution. Certainly, he could not have accepted a gentleman's agreement in this matter. No, he would have considered on having the article agreed upon in the palm of his hand. Good gracious, and you mean to say?
Wow, he speaks very highly of you. Gregson, Jesus Christ.
Inspector Gregson already has the item in question in his possession. He has a second disc actually on his person.
Yes.
The defense demands that the inspector is searched at once. Definitely. They could only have struck a deal with each other when Jeannie was testifying before. And Gregsy hasn't moved from the witness stand since. My lord, please, order an examination of his personal effects immediately.
Well, Inspector.
Oh, he seems so calm.
This young lad wants to tone down his imagination. He's insulted me in my profession quite enough.
Ooh, what do you mean by that?
However, if it's put this matter to bed and dispel any doubts about my involvement, and then I'll happily submit to a body search.
What? Wait, he's going to agree with it?
I presume you're aware of the
Precipice, whatever I say, precipice,
on which you now, Tita, my learned student friend, you made a most serious allegation against the Scotland Yard here. If, following the search of the inspector's personal effects, no disc is found, you will be deemed unfit for court service. This trial will end, and my country's government will formally demand of yours that you are severely reprimanded.
That sounds serious. No shit. It is serious.
Indeed.
to have a visiting student make a defamatory remarks about our country's most senior police force. It's not something Her Majesty's government will be able to overlook.
You're just threatening Runo because you're scared.
Indeed I am! I mean, what? The accusation is beyond serious. You must be prepared for grave consequences.
It's true. I can't imagine Gregson would have accepted a gentleman's agreement for something so critical. The disc must have physically changed hands, which means the inspector should have it. But somehow, something doesn't feel quite right here.
Very well, Consul. You know the implications, so let me ask you one final time.
Yes, my lord.
Do you still persist in formally requesting a search of the inspector's personal effects?
Alright. This is what I did in my playthrough first time. If you remember correctly, there was a moment where he could have switched possessions of the disc. So instead of saying yes, search him, we're not going to withdraw the request because otherwise that gives us nothing. We're not going to search him. We're going to search someone else. Yes, the defense formally demands the search to be conducted.
Well,
Don't say you want one, but your typical Nipponese stubbornness may well land you in hot water this time. Perhaps the lesson will do you some good.
fair enough. I got nothing to hide. Very well then. Bailiff, conduct the search of the inspector's personal.
Ooh, nope. Oh, what the fuck? The defense demands a search, but not of the Inspector Gregson. I like how he slapped the thing. Instead of hitting it hard anymore. He's like, oh shit, I'm not sure about this, but I guess I have to do it. What?
Now what is all of this? I'm the one you're accusing, aren't I? I thought you wanted to search me.
No, Inspector. Not you. Somebody else.
What's the meaning of this, eh? Lost in the last, have you sunshine? The court shouldn't have put up with this nonsense. You're being completely irrational.
Be quiet, all of you. Wait, what was that? Oh, never mind. It's not Ryunosuke. Be quiet, all of you. Oh, Ryunosuke doing what you all told him to do, and having the courage of his convictions. So you should respect that and listen to what he has to say in good faith, because that's the British way. Ooh, he threw the British way. He threw the British way into your face right there. Ooh, you can't deny.
Well said, young lady. Indeed, this court is in honor of the Defense Council Convention and eagerly awaits his next words.
You what? You don't be... Now, don't be hasty, my lord. Who cares about the British way? If I'm not mistaken about the things I've seen in court today, I'm fairly sure that I know who has the disc at the moment. There's only one person it can be.
Consul, of whom do you request to search now?
Well, Nash Skulkin. You better fucking say Nash Skulkin, not Mr. Skulkin.
Take that!
Of my lord, Mr. Nash Skulkin.
Well, I've never...
Me? Him?
Very well then, bailiff. Restrain witness and conduct a thorough search of his personal effects.
Please, my lord.
Inspector. Scotland Yard, has object to this search.
Objection!
No, why are you hiding it, man? Why are you hiding it? No. Unfortunately for you, Inspector, your objections carry no weight here. Ooh. In this courtroom, only the prosecution and the defense have the authority to object. How dare you do my job? But Lord Von Zeeks, I have no idea what forces are in play that might influence your actions. But personally, I have no intention of obstructing the course of this trial. Ah!
Hello. Carry out the search. Why me, Governor? I shouldn't do it now. Hold on, Amo. I don't know nothing about the no disc. Cut it out! Oh, you touched my crotch! I'm so sorry. He grabbed him in the balls. It's right there. Here, my lord, in this witness's pocket. Oh, never mind. I touched somewhere else. Oh, I'm so sorry. I found this. Good lord, not another music box disc. I don't know nothing about it. Nothing. Ooh. Yeah. That is the second music box disc left behind by Magnus McGilded. Is it not, Inspector Gregson? Order! Mr. Skulkin, what have you to say to yourself? Gordon Bennett. I mean not just Gordon Flamin' Bennett. Are you cussing out right now? I'll cuss for you. Fuck! Motherfucking... Oh no, you say bloody hell. Bloody hell. Bloody hell. I swear, I didn't know nothing about that disc. Honest to God. Consul, would you please explain what exactly is going on here? The alleged deal was struck was between this witness and the detective. This detective Noah. Without question, my lord. Then, for pity's sake, why on earth was this man in possession of the disc that the inspector directed for information? Inspector Gregson is a shrewd, calculating man who rarely loses his composure. Isn't a shrewd, insult? What the fuck? But not at one particular point in this trial, he exhibited some unusual behavior for a brief moment. I don't recall. What unusual behavior? Really? You did not recall him shaking down the witness? Ah! It was, yes, during my cross-examination of Mr. Graydon. Tell me, Mr. Graydon, when you left the pawnbrokery that night, was it by any chance with the second disc in your jacket pocket? I meant nothing to the sort. Yeah, look at that guy. He looks so weird. Yeah. Well, I oughta. He's like, ugh, it looks so weird. What's he doing with his other hand? Wait, why is his other hand? Where's his other hand going? His one hand in the freaking. His right hand is on his shirt, but where is his other hand? Okay, fuck. That looks so weird. Well, Mr. Graydon answered my questions. The inspector appeared to have grabbed Nash Skulkin in a most inappropriate way and was shaking him violently in an inappropriate way. I did not like it. I would like to sue. Yeah, he did and all. Thought weed noggin was gonna fall clean off, I did. I was wishing I had been born as me brother. I was. And what exactly happened to make the detective attack you like that? I ain't got a clue. He's just suddenly turned and grabbed me. And started shaking me. Why the blazes he didn't hear mention about the third gun when we got you down to the station? That's what he said. Yelled it right into me, yelled. He did. And it's still throbbing now. The way the detective behaved then was extremely out of character. But looking back now, it must have been then that he did it. That was the opportunity. That was the opportunity Inspector Gregson created for himself in order to hide the disc. Well, bless me wig, he hid it. But I'm afraid I failed to comprehend the motive here. If the detective had acquired the disc he was after, why on earth would he then proceed to hide it in another man's pocket? This is a court of law. He could have submitted the item as evidence. It would appear, my lord, The inspector was not at liberty to do that. Whatever, why ever not? As the man himself revealed earlier, his current assignment has some special conditions. And I just cracked my bones. Holy shit, I hope the mic got that, honestly. My orders were, recover the medium used to convey the secrets elite from the ministry. And do it in the QT, strictly hush-hush. Hush-hush, a top-secret assignment, is it? As far as we're aware, the information stolen comes from confidential government communications. It would seem that if the information were to be revealed into the court as evidence, it would be problematic. Does it sum up the situation, Inspector? Yeah, it does, huh? I'm operating under direct orders from the Ministry. I'm afraid I'm not at liberty to answer that question. So, realizing there was a chance that you may be searched here in court, you took steps to hide the disc you had acquired from the witness. Does this mean? He only pretended to attack Mr. Skulkin in order to get close enough to him to slip the second disc into his pocket. So it was all a pretense. Ooh. You're screwed now. Well now, Inspector Gregson, and you, Mr. Graydon, are you prepared to admit to the accusation made against you of this alleged deal? Ooh, they won't. And they're gonna be like, where's your evidence, huh? Where's your evidence, huh? That's how he's gonna be right now. He's so denial of everything. Admit to it. Yours truly. Please. Mr. Graydon. Clearly, our Eastern visitor has an uncommonly active imagination. However, there's no proof that I passed the disc to the inspector.
Objection.
But then, how do you explain the reason why you knew about the people? I am under no obligation to explain. What? You can't do that. Yes, I lied in my testimony, and that I admit it. And no sentence me. So sentence me accordingly. But this is all I admit. Murder, leaking government secrets, striking a deal with a detective. All of it is of this young Eastern man's fancy. I have no idea what any of that is about. You, what? I can't believe how they are so willing to just not accept it. Don't worry, Ryunosuke, we got this. Well, what about you then, Inspector Gregson? Do you admit to making a deal with Mr. Graydon in order to acquire the disc? Ladies and gents of the jury, as a scolding yard inspector, I will declare this, and nothing more. I'm acting like in the best interests of the country. Whatever I've done, it's been in the name of justice. Ooh. So, as members of the public of this fine country, I'd like to think that justice will be guiding your light when you're making your decisions. Ain't no way they're gonna buy that. This is quite a quandary indeed. Rarely have I encountered such extraordinary tumultuousness in the concluding of a trial. Nevertheless, in the absence of any further evidence to be presented, I believe it is time that we put the matter to the jury for their final leanings. I hope they believe us. Well, now, as a fellow servant of the Queen of the country, I must say I sympathize with the old inspector. Yes, he's a dependable man. I'm quite sure in service one becomes a good judge of character. Really? Even making a deal with a person? Even crossing your eyes doesn't help when it comes to looking in this case. It's all blurred to me. Well, as a fellow professional, I like to put my faith in the detective really. Graydon is highly skilled operator. Stop. Currently in the presence of idol. Stop. Oh my god, stop being wet right now. Detective is a very much trust in eyes. More than this, I cannot say. I don't believe it. The 6 jurors are... They're going to believe Gregson if they declare their decision now. well, Genie's going to be found guilty. If I don't manage to produce some definitive evidence right now, then we're going to lose. Either some proof that Mr. Graydon killed Mr. Winnie Bank or stole those government secrets. Or some evidence to force Gregson into admitting that he struck a deal with the witness. Okay, this I don't know. Someone can correct me, and I'll probably research it, but either way, I tried to find this out. But is there an alternate route in this case? Because it feels like you could just say that you can go to the route where finding definitive evidence that you can admit that Graydon did it. But I know one. But I don't know if that's a route or if they're just making it seem like it's a multiple choice and you have to decide which way to do. But either way, I don't know if it's correct me wrong in the comments. Maybe later in the future. I don't know how long who will respond to this, but I want to know, like, legit, is there an alternate route by finding evidence to determine Graydon's guilty? Because otherwise, I know the one that we need to do to make Gregson admit that he made a deal. And also, before I mention this, I asked this because in the other games, there are other routes you can do to win the case. And I don't know if this applies in this game too. So, I'm not want to spoil it too much because of other games things, but there are times in other games that there are alternate routes to help you win the innocence. But, well then, Console, I think it's time I impose on the jurors declare that the final decision is no. It is, unless you have some compelling evidence you have thus far not presented to the court. If I let the judge call the jurors to announce their leanings, Gina will be found guilty. So there's no other choice, Reno. You have to throw some more evidence at them. This is it now. It all comes down to this. Who do I present evidence against, Gregson or Graydon? This is what I want to know. Gregson or Graydon? I want to know about it. But apparently, I think I don't know. If I do this, I don't want to risk it, but I feel like if I present it to Graydon, it will just say, okay, what's the evidence? And then just get it wrong like that. And if you leave it to the jury, I believe it just takes away the thing. But anyways, Inspector Gregson. I'm going to do this route. If there is another route, please let me know. But otherwise, yeah. I don't know. Inspector Gregson. There is one final piece of evidence I would like you to see. What's that now, then? If you refuse to acknowledge that you did in fact strike the deal with the witness here today, then you leave us with no choice but to examine this piece of evidence thoroughly. Well, go on. This is my last chance. It looks like I'm going to have to force his hand here. One final piece of evidence to get this detective to admit to deal with that he made the deal, clearly struck the deal with Graydon. I can't really read apparently. Anyways, where is it? I'm looking for it.
Take that!
We're gonna use blackmail. It's not. Mr. McGildery's peculiar music box console. Yes, with a disc already placed ready to play. I think perhaps now would be a good time to listen to the sound produced by the music box again. Only this time, with the second disc we just discovered set in place as well. Goodness, this disc console. Ooh, what are you gonna do? No, wait! I can't let you do that! Why not? Because, because it's good. Got nothing to do with the case, that's why. Not true, Inspector. The defense has already proposed that the sounds heard by the court earlier from this music box were part of a Morse code message. Ooh, now he's afraid. We know that the Morse code comprises of two distinct tones. The defense believes that the second disc contains the second tone needed to complete the message. And now we have a chance to confirm that theory. For crying out loud, Sunshine, we're talking about state secrets here. If you go letting the whole courtroom hear confidential information like that, it's treason. Then do you admit the charge? That in order to protect the state's secrets, you merged in an unlawful dealings with the witness. You're mad. This is black belt right here, honestly. If you let that secret information out in the public domain, you'll be making an enemy of the entire British government. You idiot!
Objection.
No. Let's not forget, Inspector, that you, a Scotland Yard officer, leaked confidential case details to a witness. That you continue to lie to the court, and all because, by fair means or foul, you're determined to do your duty? Well, by fair means or foul, I'm prepared to do mine. Don't you dare! Oh, we dare! We dare! I will stop at nothing to protect my client. I don't care who I make an enemy of. Ooh, he took a liking to that apparently. My lord, if you please. The court must hear the sounds made by the music box. Come on, Von Zeeks, for Pete's sake, stop him!
Objection.
Ooh, with his high heel kick, there you go. So sassy as hell. Inspector, you should know my methods by now. I'm a prosecutor. I'm no Scotland Yard puppet. In this courtroom, my duty is to the law. So let me propose a toast to uncovering the truth by fair means or foul. Ooh, I love him! Even though he's racist, I love Barry Von Zeeks. He's fair. He is fucking fair. Well, the defense stands here, and that the prosecution has been made very clearly, I feel. Therefore, in accordance with the defense's request. Let's do it! The court will now listen to the music box is set in operation once more. Come on! The song with the second disc in place and both discs playing simultaneously. Come on! You're not gonna let this happen, are you? Come on! Admit it! Admit to the deal! It is Morse code. Not gonna lie, bars? Bars? Oh, listen to that. It's unmistakable now. It's Morse code. Alright, I admit it. Whatever you want. But for the love of God, shut the blooming box! Ooh, we shut it down. Come on. You needed to do that. Let me ask you again then, Inspector Gregson. Did you, or did you not strike a deal with the witness next to you to the stand, Mr. Ashley Graydon? Specifically, did you furnish the witness with confidential case details in exchange for this music box disc? Did you reveal the existence of the people in the pawnbroker's storeroom door, Inspector? Oh, come on. I did. Stop! What are you doing, man? You have to. It is exactly that, like your young Eastern lawyer said. When the trial resumed after the recess, and we were stood here in the stand together, that's when he approached me with a deal. Ooh, shut up, you imbecile! Shut up! He's a police officer. What are you gonna do to him? Psst, you there. You're the detective who turned up at the pawnbroker the other day, aren't you? I may have something you're looking for, Inspector, with me at this very moment. So how about a trade? I suggest you accept. Or information that may make certain individuals uncomfortable, which will soon become very public indeed. I'm gonna let that information become public knowledge. Not under any circumstances. So I accepted the man's proposal and told him details about the case that should have put him in the clear. The people in the storeroom door, the bloodstains on the overcoat. By giving false testimony, this witness intended to have the the defendant wrongfully accused of murder. Inspector, you knew that. Yet you still revealed these details to facilitate the witness's perjury?
Oh, I did. But then it turned out that the people had only been made that night after the incident took place. Scotland Yard wasn't aware of that, and I'm perfectly honest.
Well, Mr. Graydon, what do you have to say for yourself? You're caught. There's nothing and no one left for you to hide behind. You struck a deal with the inspector in order to escape conviction of a serious crime. Namely this. You are the third intruder who broke into the pawnbrokery on the night in question. And you perpetrated the murder of the proprietor, Mr. Pop Windybank.
You...
Oh!
Traitor!
Run, Inspector, run! Holy shit! Oh god, he's dying! Oh! If anything, he helped him out. He was choking to death. And it popped out the shit.
Hey look! Restrain that man. At once!
Exactly. At once.